Welcome to eXpd8. In this video, we'd like to introduce you to the new functionality that has been developed specifically with PI in mind. This new development is included from version 3.9.155 and includes things like undertakings, how to configure them, how to record them on a file, key documents, what do they mean and how do we handle them on a file. To begin with, let's look at the undertakings. Let's click into Cases and we'll open a file I've created earlier on. Notice here on the summary page of the file there's a new tab called Undertakings. When we click in there, you'll see that we have numerous fields that we can capture details of undertakings within. So first we hit the drop down and we say New. And we click that drop down and you'll notice here the type of undertaking. We've preloaded certain types we think you'll find useful. So select one of those types. User adding the undertaking, by default it is the person who's adding this onto the system. Date of undertaking defaults to today's date. Value, there's a field here, there's a value where you can record what that is. Anticipated discharge date, now this defaults to 3 years hence, but as with all the calendars in eXpd8, you have the facility to drop down the wee button and change it to a more appropriate time for you. When you physically do discharge the undertaking, you'll come back in here and put a date in for that date and time. Hope you're going to enjoy the next field. It's called Undertaking Details. We have 3 default options in here: active, complied with but not discharged, or discharged. But you can also just type in whatever is more relevant to you on that particular case. Every undertaking is in favor of somebody, so clicking this wee button here to the right opens up our contacts address book, and we get to choose who in our address book is this undertaking in favor of. So having added all of our details there, let's save this undertaking. Into activities on a file, and you will see there that automatically a note has been put on the file saying the name of the undertaking, the type of the undertaking, who it's in favor of, and it's been alarmed for the anticipated discharge date in favor of the file owner. Now, nipping back into the summary page, we can in fact go back in and add additional alarms. So hitting the drop down again for another new one, another undertaking, choose a different type. This time we'll put a value in. We'll say it's active, and we'll put it in favor of this other company instead. Save on that. Let's dip back into activities, and you can see now, we can clearly see the 2 different undertakings and the fact that they are red and alarmed for us. Let's go into reports now and see how we can extract that information. Now, as you'll know, all of our reports in eXpd8 come under 4 headings. They're either related to files, clients, contacts, or time and billing. Now, this one is specifically on a file, and there's a new heading, Undertaking Reports, and if we click just Undertakings, that will show us any current undertakings we have. If we hit the print button, we get a printout of that. Notice here, that's where we added the additional notes on the status of this particular undertaking. Okay, we could go into discharge undertakings, none so far, or specific undertakings report. Here you get to choose which fields you want to report on. So let's say all undertakings in favor of Bank of Ireland. We could choose a date range, but in this case let's choose a type, anything that are certificate of title. Preview results gives us the one file we've just added this undertaking on, and you can see there it's giving us the details of that undertaking. By the way, you know that all of the reports in eXpd8 come with the facility to export to CSV. CSV stands for comma separated value, and it's basically a format like Excel. When you click Export to CSV, you get the option to export it and to open the file that you've now created. So this gives you the facility to manipulate any data you can export from eXpd8 to appear in a way that you'd like to present it. Let's go back into our file again now, back into the undertakings, and let's discharge an undertaking. Now if we go back and look at that in reports, we expect it to have moved from undertakings into discharged undertakings, and there we can see it. Well, we hope you're going to find this new piece of functionality beneficial for your business. Instead of each undertaking simply being managed by the fee earner because they're all centralized within eXpd8, one person can be given the role to oversee all undertakings, to see what their current status is, and to be aware of which undertakings are becoming due for discharge.